tell you whatever they want to say.
Oh, he decided who's like
Yeah.
But yeah, it was more or less other staff.
Oh, really?
The longer they
Seriously?
Surprise!
Oh, good. Mount Bewilderment. Okay. No news is good news.
Okay, we are reconvening our public session of our Tuesday, July 9th, 2024 reorganization meeting of the Board of Education. And I am going to begin by asking for a nomination, a motion to elect a temporary chair.
I nominate Susan.
Oh, it would be my honor.
Second.
Aye.
All right, Connie, next on the agenda is administration of oaths to our officers. Do we need a formal? Oh, could we please have a motion to nominate officers for the Board of Ed?
Motion?
Motion for president?
Yes.
Who do you nominate?
Michael Brands.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And next is the vice president, nomination for vice president.
Could we have a motion for vice president?
Motion?
For,
Christina?
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So first I will, give the oath to Michael Brandes. Raise your right hand, Michael. Do you solemnly and firmly do support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge according to the best of your ability the duties of president of the Board of Education of the Bronxville Public Schools, to which you have been elected?
I do. Thank you.
And Christina? You, Christina Skinner, solemnly affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge according to the best of your ability the duties of a member of the duties of a vice president of the Board of Education of the Bronxville Public Schools, to which you have been elected.
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Got the gavel now.
Should've got a photo of that.
All right. We'll move on to board and committee assignments. I think you want to post those up there. But while we do that, just for the public record, I just want to thank Susan Caniff for really setting, I think, what we all can agree to be really a new standards for the leadership of the board. I think she was really an inspired leader, really worked hard. I can really attest to that. I didn't do most of that work. It was mostly Susan. And I just think that, we really owe her a debt of gratitude for the new standards, and I hope to live up to the kind of quality of work and the consistency and transparency and commitment to the community that she demonstrated. Thank you.
Very kind. Thank you.
You're here.
Okay. We're going to post up the committee assignments now. Okay. Tell a joke or something.
Here we go.
All right. So I think we just need these are the committee and liaison assignments we make every year. I think I need to ask for a motion I think we've all reviewed this. Are there any questions, any comments? Okay, I think we're all in agreement for these assignments. I need to ask for a motion to accept these assignments.
Motion?
Thank you.
Second. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. All right. Next,
So now I will administer the oath of office to the two members of the audit committee. And that would be Nikki Kapoor, Christina Skinner, and Sarah Owens.
Mickey, Michael, and Pete.
I just finished my tour of duty.
Michael Francis and you can raise your right hands. Do you solemnly affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge to the best of your ability the duties as a member of the Audit Committee of the Board of Education of the School District?
I will.
all right. Yes, so we have a calendar of meeting dates. I think you're going to post it up there for the upcoming school year. Are there any questions, comments on this? Anybody? Okay. We need a motion to accept the calendar for the next academic year.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Great. Let's move on to annual appointments, authorizations, and designations. Are we posting this up? We are. Okay, these are just the, I'm not gonna read through this, right, Connie? Dan, do you wanna talk about this?
Sure. These are statutorily required appointments for certain functions. Obviously, we appoint Connie every year. Attorneys, banks, brokers, medical director, school physician, architect of record. This is boilerplate stuff that we do every year. The notable difference this year is the assistant district clerk / deputy treasurer. Linda Nordone just retired, so until we get her replacement, we're gonna keep her on there, so that we can issue checks if something happens to our treasurer.
Gotcha.
That's and as soon as we hire her replacement, we'll change that one.
Then we have the other annual appointments and authorizations.
Again, these are required by State Education Department. Ann and I get the pleasure of being Title IX compliance officers. And basically, these are all required. We are required to have an asbestos designee. Steve Feaster has been trained for that. I think he's authorized to remove 10 square feet at any given time. And that's it. Yep. Yeah, all of these are rote boilerplate, same thing every year. Yep.
Then we have our lead evaluators.
And the lead valuers are the administrators. Yep. We deal mostly with class, but we're also authorized to deal with NILAF, and our banker is Chase.
Okay, can I get a motion to accept them all together? Okay. Can I get a motion to, put somebody in there, to accept the annual appointments, other annual appointments, and designations, please.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Annual policy review. I don't know, Pete, if you want to mention anything about this, but being
So
our,
there's 3 policies that, financial policies that require to be annually reviewed.
they're pretty standard.
They say we had first reading in June.
Right.
So,
And it's a second reading, and we went through them, and they're pretty, once again, they're recommended by the state, we're just updating them.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, and the policy committee was, and the finance committee was comfortable.
Okay. All right.
we need to approve those for after a second reading.
All right. Do I need to ask for a motion to go to a second reading to accept all 3 of these policies? I get a motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. Rachel, I think we're moving to you for a list of impartial hearing officers.
Yes, as required by the state, the board needs to annually approve the list of impartial hearing officers as they are registered on the New York State Education Department website, which is in alphabetical order. And if one is used, then we must start for the next one on the list. So this is the list of the officers from our website.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Do I need a motion on that? I do need a motion. Another motion. Can I get a motion to accept the impartial hearing officers?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving along. All right, recommendations from this committee in special ed. I think that's you too, Rachel, right?
Yes,
Okay.
you have before you appointments of members to serve on the Committee on Special Education, as well as the Committee on Preschool Special Education. And that is to approve Christine Dowd as our Director of Pupil Personnel Services as chairperson, and then each of our psychologists as alternate chair people. And then we also have our 2 physicians, if they are needed on these committees, as well as parent members who have volunteered their time. So if a family requests a parent member, we have ones that have been approved by the board.
Okay. Any questions? All right. Can I get a motion to take these recommendations from the Committee on Special Ed? Yes?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Eddie. We're slow on the uptake there, Ed. All right, next, we accept the draft minutes. Any comments from the last meeting on draft minutes, anybody? No? All right, I'll need another motion to accept the draft minutes of the special meeting of June 10th and regular meeting of June 13th.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so now we're going to the public hearing.
Right, we're pausing the reorganization meeting and opening the public hearing.
Right, so we disrupt our usual programming for the public hearing on district-wide safety plan. We do this every year. It's an annual requirement. I think we had some updates on this from Vic a couple months ago, Vic Prenny, our security director. Rachel, I think you want to share some
Yes.
things on this, yeah?
Yep, so district-wide safety plan is a requirement. It's a public document. Vic Prini, our Director of Security, had reviewed this updated 2024 district-wide safety plan with our safety committee at its May 29th meeting. The district-wide safety committee meets monthly and is chaired by our Director of Security, and it consists of teacher representatives, administrators, clerical, Director of Facilities, Board of Education member, parent representatives as well as representatives from our Bronxville Police Department. So following the committee's approval of this district-wide safety plan, which was required, the plan was then posted on our district's website beginning on June 1st, and a hearing for public comment is required after the 30-day comment period. So that is what we are doing this evening. The changes in the 2024 plan are minor, except for there is a new requirement about notification. And the change is now after fire drills, and we are required to have 8 fire drills, we need to notify parents. And also, when a fire drill commences, we need to now come over the loudspeaker to let staff and students know that it is a drill. And then we are also required now to communicate that we will be having lockdown drills. And so we will be communicating that to students and staff and parents before each of the 4 lockdown drills next year.
Before the drill.
Now it's before the drill.
Oh, so they can text their kids?
Yeah. Well, everyone will be notified. Yeah, and hopefully they're not texting their children
There you
because
go.
they will not have phones on them. The 2024 building level emergency plan remains under review. That, however, is a confidential document and it will not be posted and a hearing is not required. It will be before the board for approval at our September 5th meeting. We remain grateful to Vic Creaney, our Director of Security, as well as to the Bronxville Police Department, who continue to work closely with us, not only on our safety plans, but with us throughout the school year to help ensure that we are keeping everybody safe.
Okay.
So, any public comment?
Public comment? None? Okay.
Closing the hearing at 7:25 p.m.
Do we have to look in the queue on that?
Yeah, no, Brad said,
Brad's got that.
All right, all right.
thank you. Okay. All right, let's adjourn, we'll adjourn the public hearing on safety, reconvening the regular meeting. And I believe now I need to ask for a motion to adopt that very safety plan that we just discussed. Please, anyone for a motion?
Motion.
Any second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, excellent, moving along. I think we are on to you, Rachel, for other
Thank
business.
you. So I'm very pleased this evening to put before the board 2 recommendations for new administrators. We have with us this evening both Dr. Laverso and Mr. Di Rienzo, who I am recommending to be our interim building principal in the high school and our elementary school assistant principal. These were very comprehensive processes that involved looking through over 150 resumes for each of these positions. And as a result, these 2 candidates surfaced as our strongest, and we very much look forward to welcoming them to our Bronxville school community. In addition, you have before you a recommendation for Mr. Anthony Vaglica to move from our elementary assistant principal position to our secondary assistant principal position. Also this evening, we have a part-time Latin teacher, which we had spoken to you about, who will teach a 6th grade section and a 7th grade section of Latin next year. Our 8th grade section will be taught by an existing Latin teacher. So we're very excited to welcome Mike Maury back. We have a new computer science teacher in the elementary school, James Mitchell, of no relation to our legendary former Latin teacher, Jim Mitchell. That's right, and track coach, of course. We also have a new special ed teacher due to a resignation. We're very excited to welcome Megan Golden on as an elementary special education teacher. Also, typically at this board meeting, I put before you our teacher mentors, our curriculum leaders, and our team leaders for the next school year. And we are also asking you to appoint a leave replacement for an elementary art teacher. And we do have a few more teacher aide resignations. Also, I'd like you to approve Linda Nordone as a clerical sub for all the reasons that Dan Carlin has already shared with you. I'm also very pleased to put before you two negotiation settlements, one with the Bronxville Teachers Association and one with our facilities unit. The district and the teachers unit and the facilities unit all feel very good about these settlements. They were very respectful, they're fair settlements, and I think we should be very proud of this as we move forward into the next school year. We have the reappointment of Dr. Levitt as our medical director, as well as a new school nurse due to a resignation. So I ask you to consider, we have this evening A through AA. Happy to take any questions.
Any questions? Okay. Ask for a motion to accept A through AA.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Welcome and welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah. Okay, I think we're moving on to the interesting stuff, right, Dan? Financial action items?
Policy.
Oh,
Policy
sorry,
update.
policy update, sorry.
This also came out of the Finance Committee as well, and the Policy Committee.
Okay.
Updating the purchasing policy as recommended by the New York State School Boards Association.
Okay, so that is a first, well, that's a second reading of purchasing. Pete, did you want to say anything about it?
I didn't want to say anything about that because that's just boilerplate and it's mandated by the state. But the second policy, the first reading, appropriate boundaries between students and staff. This is a policy that the policy committee came up with, spearheaded really by Dr. Kelly. And really the board, the administration, just felt like we needed to define what appropriate relationships were like between students and staff. Even getting into like electronic communication, you know, we're hiring younger and younger people, and as new people come up, it's very appropriate to communicate electronically. My generation, not as much. So let's define specifically what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. So thank you, Dr. Kelly. Thank you, the administrators that really spearheaded this. And I know you guys spoke to staff about this as well. And it seems like a very good policy. And I think our peer group of other districts have something very similar to this in place already. And it was appropriate to have it done for us as well.
Thank you. Now, before we go to what Pete discussed, I think we need to first have a motion to accept the second reading on the purchasing. Can we have a motion, and then we'll come back to this? Have a motion for the purchasing authority update.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we're back to the first reading on appropriate boundaries. Thank you, Pete. Anyone else have comments or anything else? Rachel, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, so we did speak briefly with the faculty about this, and the plan is when we have our superintendent's conference days prior to the beginning of the school year, I'll conduct a training so that everybody is familiar with this new policy. And then we will put this before the board on September 5th for the second reading and adoption.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Thank you. I need a motion to accept the first reading, move on to, yeah, that's all I need. Just accept the first reading.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye, okay. Now we're back to Dan, right?
Yes.
Financial action.
We are actually closing our fiscal year and opening the new fiscal year at the same time, so while, you know, a lot of people in the district are home relaxing for the summer, that's not what happens in the business office over the summer. Lot going on. Good news is that surplus from expenditures is climbing a little, you know, as we're closing purchase orders, and so that's good. And we already knew revenues are going to be very strong. So we're going to close the year in decent financial position. And as this meeting, the June meeting, and usually even the September meeting, we have a bunch of financial action items that serve the purpose of allowing us to do business for the coming year. The first one is authorizing the retainer agreement with Keen and Bean for legal services. Then we have our claims auditor. Then we have our school trip nurse and a substitute nursing agency and homebound tutoring, and then a couple of special ed services that we need to approve for the coming year. The board has gotten detailed memos on what these contracts involve, and I think just about all of them, I think all of them are just rollovers from the prior year. We've dealt with these contractors before, and we're very comfortable with them.
Okay,
So can we take those as a group, Connie?
yeah. Any questions before we? Right, any questions before we? Okay, I get a motion to accept A through G of financial action items.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. We are, where are we?
We're on facilities. I believe.
Facilities, oh, very popular topic.
Yes.
That's you, Dan. Yep.
The summer is when facilities get very busy. You know, we're starting to clean out classrooms with the summer cleaning program, and anybody who's still in the village will notice, well, probably the reason we're doing this now is because a lot of people aren't in the village at the moment. But we have an emergency resolution on the agenda for the sidewalk replacement. We've determined that there's a safety issue in that sidewalk, an ongoing issue with just the width of the sidewalk, and even able to hold our kids out there during fire drills, etc. But beyond that, we've also noticed some buckling and some cracking that could pose a safety issue going forward. So we're proposing an emergency resolution to replace that sidewalk. It involves dealing with a contractor that we've dealt with in the past as being extremely reliable and a quality contractor. And we also did the due diligence of comparing his numbers that he proposed against figures that we've paid in the past for similar sidewalk replacements, that the village has paid for recent sidewalk work, and other public bids where they've come in as far as sidewalk work goes. So we're very, very confident that this is a competitive bid, even though we're not going out to bid because we needed to do the work as soon as possible. And we have that emergency resolution, and then there's also another adjustment of a prior resolution, adding, I think, 3 words and a number into it, that was approved in the fall, which is the resolution for kind of shoring up the brickwork in the attic of the B-wing. The work was done. We're happy with the work. State Education Department came back to us and said, the resolution is fine, but you need to put a dollar amount in there as an estimate. So we're just adding to the previously approved resolution a dollar amount not to exceed $40,000. The work came in less than that, but I like dealing with round numbers.
Is that why you had to, we couldn't just update it, we had to rescind and then,
Rescind that resolution and approve.
I see that's
the new-
A, B, that's B, A, B, C, yeah. Okay. Okay. Is that it, Dan?
Yes, and
Okay.
when people get back in the village, there will be a much nicer, more welcoming sidewalk.
Okay.
I've been out there watching them work, and just it's fascinating. If anybody has young kids, bring them down. There's all kinds of construction equipment going on, and I've seen a lot of families out there watching.
Okay.
So it's going to be really, really nice.
Great. Eddie, I know, chairing that facilities committee, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add. I know we usually do this at the end of the meeting, but I thought maybe you want to interject now, if you'd like? Oh, he's not even here.
No, he
I'm
left
talking
us.
to a ghost. All right, well, Dan, I think you covered everything. Really well done. Anyone else want to add anything?
Are we like, there's a whole summer concert series, are we like liaising with those people, being like, hey, we have this work going on and all that kind of stuff?
That's a good question. I have not personally, but seeing as though tomorrow's Wednesday, we should probably.
Yeah, don't destroy our new lawn, don't destroy our new shrubs.
I did see the sign out there, that's why I was.
Is it coming up?
They did hold it last week.
They did? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, good question. Okay. Anything else?
Thanks, Kevin.
All right. We need a motion to accept ABC of these emergency resolution, rescind, and then the revised resolution for the masonry work. Please.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Wow, we are really rocking.
Rankin through.
We doing really well here.
The July meeting, it's the only meeting of the year.
Okay, we're on to the action calendar. I believe this is just, are we really at the end here, Rachel? We really are. So exciting. All right, well, our next meeting's on Thursday, September 5th, and that's a regular meeting, and then September 19th. So you see us twice in September, but you won't see us next month. All right, very exciting. Now I think we open it up for public comment. Brad? Nobody? Guests? Nobody? Okay. Then may I have a motion to adjourn the reorganization meeting 2024?
Motion.
No one wants to leave. All right, all in favor?
Get home and.
Aye. Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a great summer.
Yes, have a great summer.